Chamisa should have stuck with the red. He should have stuck with the red. Were there going to be any legal impediments or any legal complications to him using the red color? Is he going to be able to pull these kind of crowds anymore? Looking at the situation in Zimbabwe, looking at everything, at all the circumstances, is he going to be able to pull the same crowds? I ask you. Of course, you can be dire. We can be dire supporters of Chamisa, but is it going to be realistic for him to pull this kind of crowds like what Tsvangirai used to do and what he used to do himself? So Chamisa has formed a new party, political party, which is CCC, Citizens Convergence for Change. And this new political party has got new colors. That is, the color that they are going to use is a single color, which is yellow. And I think that could have just put Chamisa in a corner. Is he not just driven himself into a corner by choosing the color yellow and then changing the name quite completely, like dissociating himself from the original MDC quite completely and not associating with it in any other way, which means he can no longer associate himself with the Tsvangirai's legacy or Tsvangirai's party and whatever Tsvangirai built from ZCTU. He can't associate himself with that. That is gone, and he can no longer even Photoshop some of his campaigns and put them on a lot of crowd of people that will be wearing red in different situations where Tsvangirai we know gathered a lot of, even at some point Chamisa himself had a lot of very big crowds coming to attend his rallies. He can't use any of that. He has to gather new political rallies, to make new political pictures with rallies, big rallies, which are going to be quite difficult for him to gather, which are very difficult for him to attract, given the fact that now this is a new political scenario where there are different players. Mugabe is gone. Tsvangirai built his legacy against Mugabe on the hatred that people had for Mugabe, and Mugabe now is gone and he's no longer there and he's dead actually. And the legacy that he built and the big part that he built by being persecuted by Mugabe and looking like a martyr, that all is gone, and Chamisa is not going to claim any of that. And I remember during the formative years of MDC, most of us MDC supporters, I used to support MDC at that time, we used to carry around a red card in our pockets and to flash it out at rallies as a sign that we're really tired of Mugabe and Mugabe had to go. Now that red card has been replaced. If we are going to make another card, if Chamisa is going to make another card, is going to make a yellow card, and we know that the red card is more powerful than the yellow card. The red card will take someone out. The yellow card will keep someone in. If they are to flash a yellow card, which means that they will be giving Mnangagwa another chance to rule. What they will be saying is that Mnangagwa should have some chance to rule again, which means there is the idea of a card like we used to do when MDC was formed. It's not going to work with the CCC mantra. I think Chamisa should have stuck with the red color. Actually, I wonder why he chose to change the name of the party or to change the party completely and then to change the colors. I don't know whether they were going to have any legal complications if he had just stuck to the red color, because I don't think anyone was going to claim it from him, or rather to go to court and claim that he's using their colors, because I don't think these colors are patented. You can choose any color you want, even if it is being used by any party. I think he should have started with the red, and it was going to look very beautiful, and it was going to give him some semblance of the old MDC that he used to be in, and he needed that. I think he needed to show that he has some connections with the MDC. For him to show that there is totally no connection, like he's saying, connection between him and the MDC that existed, is going to really cost him in terms of the numbers of people. Actually, let us see, maybe he's going to pull a miracle, or he's going to pull some magic, something that we have never seen before. Let us wait and see, especially starting with the March 26 by-elections that are going to be held in most of the municipalities, to choose councillors and to choose those MPs who, especially some who died and some who shifted, were recalled from MDC. Let us wait and see whether that is going to work for him. But I think it's a mammoth task for him. This is going to be a very monumental task for him to achieve, to have those numbers as you can see there, have those kind of crowds. It's not going to work this time. I don't think it's going to go work with him. He can attract some people, of course, some crowds, so he will attract. But for him to build crowds like this, build his party to a point where you can attract crowds like this, he needs really to do something extra, something that we are not even aware of, something that he has to imagine, something out of the ordinary for him to pull crowds like those. And remember, Tsvangirai built his party from ZCTU. He fought a lot from ZCTU when we used to do stay away from work, and they were quite popular, the stayaways, when they started, but eventually they lost a lot of appeal to a lot of people. People ended up just going to work, because what you find you need at the end is to make sure that you put some food on the table and your family has to survive. You ended up not going to those stayaways, and that's how Tsvangirai eventually formed his party, which is MDC. And really, Tsvangirai was persecuted. Most of the MDC, some of the MDC supporters were also killed, and he was even badly injured in some of these arrests that were made of him. He was actually badly persecuted, something that Nelson Chamisa is not going to be able to go through. And when you are persecuted, a lot of people will sympathize with you, and you get money from sympathizers. I don't think Mnangagwa is going to arrest Chamisa at all. He's not going to persecute him. He can claim, but he won't show any evidence. We have pictures of Tsvangirai having been incarcerated, and sometimes with very serious wounds, and showing signs that he was badly manhandled by Mugabe's security forces. Now, Chamisa is not going to enjoy all those advantages. Of course, it was a bad thing that he was arrested and beaten, but it worked in his favor. People sympathized with him. We were very angry with the Mugabe regime for doing this to him. We hated the ZANU-PF, and it made us drift into the far corner, into the corner of MDC, and that's how we continue to support MDC. But that is not going to happen with the Chamisa. Chamisa has to really pull up some tricks that I think he just has driven himself in a corner. I don't know. Of course, his supporters, his diehard supporters will tell you that anything is workable. He's going to be able to do anything that he wants to do, and he's going to grow the party into a formidable party, which I doubt very much. Let's wait and see. I doubt that very much, because like I told you, the conditions have changed, the situation has changed, the players in political arena have changed, and a lot of things have actually changed. He needs to put a different approach, because the Mnangagwa government also is a different government from that of Mugabe, as you could see. If you want to acknowledge the truth, that it is showing that it's totally different from that of Mugabe, and that is going to make it difficult for Chamisa to really succeed like Tsvangirai did, as if you had to compare the two. He is no longer going to bask in the glory of Tsvangirai, into all the achievement that Tsvangirai had managed to achieve, and into the party and the pictures and the regalia that was there, and the red that used to exist, that he could access very easily, and Tsvangirai's name that he could just draw on. If he needs more support from people, he could just mention Tsvangirai. He can no longer do that. I think this is going to be far difficult for Chamisa. It's going to be a very difficult task. It's going to be an insurmountable task, and I don't know, maybe because of his charisma, and some people just generally like him, and he has got some charisma, but I don't think that is going to be enough to give him the numbers that MDC at its height used to enjoy. He needs more than just that. He needs something drastic to happen in Zimbabwe, something that can give him the numbers that really will matter in times or in moments where they have to have elections. But let's wait and see. We have got a litmus test, and as the test is coming on 26 March, about a month or so to go, we are going to have elections, and that is going to be a very big test for Chamisa. And seeing as we see right now that maybe there are signs that he maybe is already lacking resources, like they couldn't launch the new candidates there in Bulawayo. They couldn't launch their party campaign there. because they didn't have enough resources. Already that's a sign that his party is limping, and it needs to change. Really has to really